Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. If you happen to be watching on YouTube, I'm glad you're here. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Today, I'm talking about starting here, right here, to be a better leader. Are you ready? Let's get started. Well, before we can start someplace, we have to know why we're leading. So let's talk about why we're leading. Here's how I would define leadership: to reach valuable outcomes with and through others. I'll say that again: to reach valuable outcomes with and through others. So if you look at that in terms of our 3O model of leadership, you can see that leadership is about outcomes, leadership is about others, and leadership is about ourselves, or us. And so when you think about those three things together, remembering that leadership is ultimately about outcomes and others, then we can look to ourselves, say, where do we need to start so that we can get better? Now, that means that we are leading not for ourselves, not for our own reasons, and not alone. And so in order for us to get better, we need to know how we are doing by the ones we're doing it for, those that we lead us, and those we're doing it with, our team. And so we need to think about leadership in that way because we have big blind spots. Like, let me put it this way. As human beings, we are not very good at being self-aware. We think we're highly self-aware, but we really aren't. So there's all sorts of things going on around us that we think we may be doing well, or maybe we think we're not good at, that we might be better at or not. Thinking about this another way is that we judge ourselves based on our intentions, but others judge us based on their perceptions of our behavior and what their perceptions of our intentions are. So we have big blind spots. So if we want to be a better leader, we need better input. We need to know what others think about how we're doing. Not just about whether they think we look nice or any of those things, but about how is our behavior helping us reach outcomes? And is our behavior supporting people doing better work? That's where we need the input. And because we don't have all of that in our own personal purview, we need 360-degree feedback. We need feedback from those that lead us, from our peers, from our team. That's how we would define 360-degree feedback. Feedback from all around us, people that observe us, people that work with us, people that know us, to give us a sense of what we're really doing or how successful we're really being. Now, you may be thinking of a 360 assessment as a tool, and you can, in fact, use a tool, use a 360 assessment. We have one, and you can go to our website or click the link here if you're watching to learn more about that. But it doesn't have to be a tool. We can get 360-degree feedback in a variety of ways, including using a facilitator. We can use a facilitator, a coach, a consultant, someone to go out and collect feedback about us. It doesn't have to be with a tool. To collect that feedback so that we as an individual leader get that input that we need so we can take our blinders off. That's important, right? So another thing that we can do is, as a leader, we can keep asking. We can continue to ask our team how we're doing. What do they need from us? How can we remove barriers for them? And doing that will, over time, give us more feedback. And I strongly encourage you doing that, but that probably alone isn't enough. So along with whatever else you're doing to take your blinders off and see what's going on around you, I would encourage you to continue asking for feedback, even though you know that might not be all the feedback that you need or that you will get all of it. So let me now state again what I've said like 5 times, which is do whatever it takes to lift the blinders, to pull the blinders back so we can see how people are viewing us and how effective we're really being or not. And once we have that information, once we have a clearer picture of who we are, then we can go to work. That's the best place to start if we want to be a better leader. Let me close with today's tweet. If you want to be a better leader, you must understand how you impact others, not based on your intentions or preferences, but based on what they need from you. Well, some of you are listening to this on the Remarkable Leadership Podcast, but some of you are watching it somewhere else. And if you are, and if this was helpful, if you really do want to be a more effective leader, then one of the best things that you could do is join us for the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. Hope you'll do that wherever you get your podcasts, and or continue to listen right here as a part of the Remarkable Leadership Podcast or Remarkable TV. We'll see you next week.